Well, hey there, dreamers. It's Clever Trev here, and I've got a different type of video today, and this is kind of a subscriber request. And my friend Plastic Dragonfly commented on this video, the Shadow of the Colossus level, and said, "Oh wow, very nice. How did you achieve the silhouette and that kind of color palette for everything else? I'd love to attempt to recreate the animation from Harry Potter, which is a very similar style to this, but I cannot achieve the right look." So, I told him, hey, you know what? Let me just make a little video breakdown because it's harder to explain. I might as well just show you. So this is a level I made, inspired by the beautiful game Shadow of the Colossus, one of my favorite games ever. So how did I make this? Well, let's just play it a little bit. And you can see the giant Colossi slowly walks towards you. Eventually he gets right in front of you. We're not going to play the whole thing because it takes a little bit of time. So let's dig into it. So first of all, if I just go to, if I just do studio lighting real quick, pretty much everything is the same color almost. It's all pretty much light gray. Certain things I did darken to make it just look a little more bold. The character is obviously like black. The sword is very shiny. There's a few darker pieces. So really to achieve it, one of the key elements is this fog right here. So there's no fog right here on my character, but once we go a little bit more forward, that's when we hit the fog. And the fog lasts, about 20 meters. So if we play it again, you can see the fog is in front of me. So that's a big part of the silhouette here. But that's not it. There's more stuff that went into it. There's also another fog underneath my character. So there's actually two fogs in this level, the one up front and the one below. But also an important element is going to be the effects. So if you go to your grade and effects gadget, so if you're trying to copy what I did here, we've got negative 65% brightness, 84% contrast, 86% saturation, and then here's another thing. All of these shadows, the midtones, and the highlights, they're all at the same color here. Kind of yellowish orange right in the middle. That kind of gives it like a, just instead of just being completely black and white, there is a little bit of color in there that you can see. And then moving on, there's nothing under the screen effects. Oh, there is. Okay, so we got 0% vignette, 10% bloom, 12% lens flare, 0% grain, 0% sharpen, 47% motion blur, 0 camera movement, 0 pinclusion. These are both 0 in the hue affection, and then these are all 0 here. I left all alone at the final pixelation effects. And then also, if we go into our sun and sky, we're at 40% sun brightness, 3% sun size, visible, and it casts shadows. Number 4 sky image, 7 sky fleck types, 19% sky brightness, 0 sky hue and saturation. So 0 sky saturation, that's important. The tint color is all the way white with 50% tint intensity, 85 horizon. Kept the fog as is. And I know this looks messy. This is one of my earlier creations. Normally I'd putting these all on a microchip now that I know how to use microchips properly. So that's about it. So once you do all those effects and all those settings, it essentially makes everything like this. It kind of darkened everything. But also there's quite a bit of contrast. So if we play it one more time, and it makes a little more sense now. You can see the fog in front of me is causing that really distinct contrast between the foreground and the background. And also as the giant Colossi is walking towards us, because he's walking through the fog closer to us, he slowly becomes more and more visible. And then those objects way in the background, because they're so far back, the farther back they are, the lighter they become, giving you a big sense of depth and space. So I hope it answered your question, Plastic Dragonfly. And if you guys ever want me to break down any other levels, or if you're trying to figure something out and you're stuck on something, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to try to help you. I can't promise I'll be able to figure it out, but just troubleshooting 101. So that was my Shadow of the Colossus breakdown.
Welcome to Clever Trev Gaming.